Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Wednesday, February the 23rd, 2022. Once again, the markets did try to throw us a little head fake and made another attempt during Globex of getting back above that 14,108 high that we saw yesterday. And it failed, which is a good thing, because it kept the count intact. And so, quick review, continuing to count a 5-wave sequence down on an intermediate degree, whether that's going to be a C wave or a wave 3, yet to be determined, but it is a 5-wave sequence down, and it will consist of 5 waves of minor degree, of which we have minor 1 and 2 complete, and will remain in the process of counting out the minor 3rd wave. Within that, we will have 5 waves of minute degree, which we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we are now counting out that minute 5th wave, which in and of itself will consist of 5 waves of sub-minute degree. And within that, we have sub-minute 1, 2, and this is the 3rd, and I'm thinking it might come out. It could be done. Possibly not. There's the 1, there's the 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. It did come down almost to the support where I was looking for it to come down. That I'm not really liking that kind of squeeze. There you go. That's much better. But again, this one looks a little bit tighter. We got 1, 2, whether that's the 3rd, could be. And then we have the 4, and then we have the 5. Now, whether the 5 is done, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. In which case, all I'm looking for is just that completion of the 3rd. So we got 1, 2, and is this going to be all of 3, or maybe I need a little bit more? But I do believe we're very close to the end of 3 of 5. So it's subminute wave 3 of minute wave 5. And once that's done, then I'm going to be able to put a minute 5 down here, and that would then be labeled minor 3. So we're pretty much on schedule in terms of the development and in terms of the levels that are associated with these moves. And what we ended up doing today, we ended up breaking below 13,580, which was again Monday's Globex low, that opening gap down low that it put in. And then also just above here at 13,007. Let me open this back up again so I can show you which one that is. That's the low of wave A, which is being labeled wave A, at 13,706. So we broke that first, and then we continued to drop down, which was a good thing, and broke Monday's low, which was the bottom of the minute 3rd wave. So we broke the intermediate wave A low, so that would be intermediate A or 1. Again, that determination has not quite been set in stone yet. So I'm still referencing both. They're intermediate degree, but it's either an A or a 1, with the B wave up there being either an intermediate B wave or an intermediate wave 2. So we're in this 3rd, and whether it's a C or a 3, it's all going to have the same characters, the same characteristics, the same personalities. So here we are in this last minute 5 down to complete this minor 3, and subdividing just beautifully. So we're looking for it to form its own 5. It did. Well, not quite yet. So there's the 1, the 2, and as we have been discussing all along, that under Elliott guidelines and the many things that Elliott wrote and also Robert Prechter wrote about, was that second waves often retrace 50 to 62% of wave one. And in this case, it was a lot higher than that. It was above 70.5%. So it's not the most common, but it's not totally unusual for that wave two to get as close as it can to the top of where wave one started. And that was at 14,108. So it got close, got up to 14,068 today. Actually in Globex overnight. We did give it a good old college try first thing this morning and pushing it up to 14,031 before the sellers came in, and that actually just gave us a good shove lower until we basically broke that 13,711 area. And then we did sort of get a little bit of a rally back up, and we rallied again, and then came the second larger amount of selling, and that was pretty persistent for the balance of the day. And we went right into the close with getting all the way down to 13,494. So the next support down was 13,450, and that is the area that I would like to see this third wave finish. And actually the fifth wave could finish there, but right now it's looking like the third may get there. We'll get an additional bounce, and then we'll get that subminute fifth wave to complete the minute fifth wave. Then it's all done, and then I'll mark it as the completion point for the minor wave three. Then we're looking for a minor fourth wave advance, a bounce, and it'll come in three waves, A, B, C. And I am going to be looking for it again, is whether this comes down and finishes here, or finishes here. And these are the zones. So we've got this 618, 70.5, and 78.6. These are all Fibonacci levels. Ultimately, I mean, if it came all the way down here, it's definitely going to be acceptable. But this is the zone where I'm feeling we might just kind of come in and put in a low. And the expectations for that fourth wave, if we use the guidelines that Elliott gave us, fourth waves will normally find their terminus or their end point within the price territory of the previous fourth wave of one lesser degree. And that's right here. So all is well that we can come down, maybe even 13,200 and still rally 800 points and get back up to 14,100 or 400. Now, it'll be a decent rally, and it'll make everybody believe that's it, the lows are in and we are off to the races, and they were right, we were so majorly oversold, et cetera, et cetera. A rally like that will take care of that oversold situation, hands down. And it'll come in an A up, B down, and C wave up. And we'll label that as minor wave 4. And actually minor wave 4 could be that, it'd be a zigzag, or minor wave 4 could also be a series of 3-wave patterns, but more of a flat. It's where it is not really getting a lot of price activity. It'll move in price, but it'll be more range bound. Highs and lows will kind of stick together, and it forms what we call a flat structure. And that could be the case as well. We'll know once it starts to begin, but we have to leave a lot of things out on the table until the market lets us know what exactly it wants to do. In the meantime, for tomorrow, I would at some point in here, whether it's right off of where we are, get a little bit of a fourth wave. Again, now this one, I'm not expecting them to come jumping back in and got to start taking this thing way up, because here's the no break zone in terms of these are subminute waves, and that's at 13,701. So we went through it today, but I'd rather not that we got back up to it tomorrow, because then I'm going to have to switch this all around and be looking for a 3, a 4, and a 5 all within this, and that just doesn't fit at all. So while I think that we should come down, and they might do that during Globex, and they might even come down here during Globex and then put in a little bit of a rally, a fourth wave, a subminute fourth wave, by the way. So we're not looking for anything big just yet. The declines are the bigger portions. This wave 2, yeah, it was a little of a stinker, but wave 3 has certainly made up for it today. And once it's complete, we'll get a fourth wave in, and then we're going to get a fifth wave down, put our minor 3 label on, and then get ready for a larger wave 4 corrective pattern. So how I'm going to leave this right now, those support zones remain in force. They are active. Any one of them, even this all the way down here, can hold and contain not only this completing third, but then the fourth on the way back up should likely kind of get back up towards where the 4 is, and maybe back up to 575-ish from here. And that's a 60-point, 70-point rally. Would be pretty decent. In any case, then we come swinging back down any of these. So we have 13,450, 13,360. So kind of a double up there, but it's all in the same area. And then 13,271. A break there, it would have to be pretty strong coming off. Then we're looking at 13,092 down to 13,043. I actually, on this particular move, I would not necessarily be looking for the strength coming in this fifth wave to knock us all the way down below that zone, because 13,043 is where this fifth wave would be equal in length to the third. So I'm kind of hoping that if it gets down there, it contains it. Further, I believe, will come when we're in the intermediate fifth wave down. And that then will complete that, the intermediate, the minor fifth wave to complete the intermediate, either wave C or third wave. So let me restate that. Those levels, when we're completing that larger degree, these are the levels that I would anticipate are going to come down. For this minor third wave, I'm looking for in here, not really below, here into here to finish minor 3. We get a minor 4 bounce, we get a minor fifth wave, which I believe will bring us down again into these zones here. Then we're going to be looking for it to bring us all the way down into possibly 12,188. And that would be to complete that intermediate degree 5-wave impulse wave down. Whether that will be labeled wave C or wave 3, yet to be determined. Excuse me. So for tomorrow, let's look for the completion of this subminute third wave, get a subminute fourth wave in, and get a subminute fifth wave underway. And then we'll move from there. Continue to follow moving averages and the Elliott and the Fibonacci, and have a great trading day tomorrow. The moves were great today. Sometimes they weren't as easy to catch or to stay with. But once the afternoon got going, it was pretty much straight down. And that kept us pretty active trading. And the next update will be on Thursday, the 24th.